What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Exchange. My name is Tim, and next to me I got another episode with Caitlin. And in this episode, we're going to be getting into the NFL Week 10, and we're going to get into it right now.
Into what happened Sunday night, where we saw the Houston Texans take on the Detroit Lions, and for the most part, the Texans looked like they were going to stop all the talk about the Lions being the best team in the NFL, and Jared Goff should not be an MVP candidate, which highly disagree with that. But what hurt the Texans was not turning field goals into touchdowns. Which Detroit is one of the best at doing this year. They give up yards, but stiffen up in the red zone, and then make you pay for it on offense. So, new Lions edition though, Zadarius Smith, did not play in the game since this would have been his bye week, had he been with the Browns, and Dan Campbell, being a former player, you spelled it wrong, knows how important having that week to recover is. Really cool thing though was he was super active on the sidelines with the defensive line. He was really coaching them up, giving them advice, just really diving straight in, which I personally love to see. But let's talk about the hero of the game.
Yeah.
Which I thought he was going to die of panicking. But the hero is Jake Bates, and he barely scraped a 50-yard field goal to tie the game and a 52-yard field goal to win the game with time expired. It was so intense.
Those balls could not be any closer to that goal post.
No.
It nerve-wracking. And to have two of them back-to-back.
Yeah.
Where you had right side, whoo! Left side, whoo!
But it made the win even better. Because, yes, it did. You were pacing. He was in front of the TV, pacing. The win happens. We scream just as our oldest comes running down the stairs going, I knew you were going to scream.
Yeah.
So, but with it, the defense was a big key for the turnaround of the game since Joe Mixon had rushed over 100 yards in his last 4 games. To hold him to just 46 total rushing yards.
Yeah. Big shout out to the defense for doing that. DJ Ritter and Lee McNeil, they had huge games. Even their new addition, Muhammad. I'm not sure of his first name, but Muhammad was in there making plays. Brian Branch coming back after being ejected out of last week's game. Had some crucial plays on defense. CD, Carlton Davis, was 2 interceptions, coming up with big plays. That whole defense we know they're shorthanded with no Aiden Hutchinson. And yet, it's just next man up. They go out there and give everything they got. It's grit. It's what's ingrained into the DNA of the Detroit Lions locker room. And it is just amazing to see. They bend, they don't break. And so excited for this season with the Detroit Lions.
I'm just super proud of the team that Dan Campbell has put together. They have grown so much, and you can tell they are truly family on and off the field, and I think that helps them perform better when they're in the tight spots.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I love the Lions.
Yeah.
Very proud of them. Very proud of the team. Amazing coach.
Yeah, and what's great to see is when you have your team go through a situation like that, facing adversity, somewhat in the middle end of the season. That way, when you come into the playoffs, you find your team in that situation, you know how they're going to handle it already.
Yeah.
So, even though it was a close game, it was an ugly game for Jared Goff and the offense, but still, they're growing from it. They're getting better because of it. So excited. All right, I'm going to jump in here. The Bengals had another close game with the Ravens that they desperately needed for their fight in the division. They came up just 1 point shot of victory. And I want to get your guys' opinion. They went for the 2-point conversion and the win at the end of the game. And they didn't get it. Do you think they should have gone for just a field goal, send it to overtime, take their chances in overtime with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, that two-headed monster they got down there? Or do you think going for the win right then and there was the right call? You, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think.
I don't even know. I'm going to say probably...
You lived through it last year when we watched the Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys.
I know.
They had the 2-point conversion and then they lost. But I still wouldn't have changed anything. I wouldn't want Dan Campbell to be like, all right, we got the penalty, whatever, let's just kick the field goal. No, he still went out and put his offense out there and they tried it again.
Yeah.
5 yards back. So
I say give it a while, try up front, don't take the easy way out.
yeah. Christian McCaffrey had a season debut and had with a snap count limit. He came away with 13 rushes, 39 yards, 6 catches for 68 yards, and a 49ers win. So Christian McCaffrey's back. He's not putting up the numbers, but just give him time. This dude's a beast. Kansas City Chiefs win yet again with a blocked field goal at the end of the game. Bo Nix didn't have a great game, but he avoided mistakes and was able to drive the offense down the field to set up for the game-winning field goal. Taylor Swift putting her voodoo magic on the game. Chiefs blocked a field goal and win.
It's because she showed up.
Have they ever lost when Taylor Swift's at a game?
I don't know. I don't pay that too much attention.
I don't either, but
I just knew she was there because my TikTok blew up and she had on her little red number outfit and security was yelling, "Stand up! Stand up!"
No, I did see a TikTok where it was they were showing the blocked field goal, and before the ball was snapped, it panned up, and it was Professor Snape when he was doing the spell at the Quidditch game. He was sitting here like this. It was like Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game.
That's hilarious.
But I'm not sure who's going to knock off this 2-time defending Super Bowl champion team. They just keep finding ways to win. So what else can you say about the Chiefs? They're winners. There's something brewing in Chicago, and it is not good. The Bears, after a good start to the season, have now lost 3 straight, and Caleb Williams has not thrown a touchdown since October 13th in London.
Ouch.
Offensive coordinator Shane Waldron has to change a lot of things and fast if he wants to keep his job in Chicago. And along with Matt Eberflus, he's got to be on the hot seat right now. Chicago's had the worst offense the last 3 games in the entire league with an offensive EPA at a whopping 51.3. Now, if you're asking what an offensive EPA is, I'll tell you. The EPA is the expected points added, which is a stat that measures how well a team performs compared to their expectations on a play-by-play basis. So, the bigger the differential, the worse you are. If you're expected to score 31 points and only score 6, that's a differential of 28 points right there.
Ooh.
So, in the last 3 games, they've averaged 51.3.
That's bad.
So the 31st team in the league is the Dallas Cowboys with a score of 37.4. That's how bad the gap is between 32nd and 31st. And we all know how bad Dallas is right now. Dak Prescott out. Cooper Rush can't throw the ball. Trey Lance comes in, tries to save the day. He can't do anything with the ball. Cooper Rush comes back on the field. The crowd's booing him. The crowd's booing the whole... It's nasty in Dallas right now. Another coach that might be on the hot seat is New York Giants coach Brian Daboll. After the Giants lost to the Carolina Panthers, now the Giants are the worst team in the NFL and projected the number 1 pick.
Ooh.
Now, if they keep that spot, do they move on from Daniel Jones? who might even be done seeing action this week because we're going to see backup quarterback Drew Lock possibly taking over for the rest of the season. So Daniel Jones, Brian Daboll, are they going to be back next year for New York Giants?
That's a great question.
It is a great question. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know on the Facebook page. Is Brian Daboll, is Daniel Jones going to be a New York Giant next year? Or do they even survive the rest of the season? Now, it doesn't make sense to let go of a player at this point. Teams have let go of their coaches at this point. Like, are they saying, you know what, we've had enough. We're going to start our rebuild now. We're going to bring in some fresh blood at head coach or bring in an interim coach that's already on the staff. Try to psych these boys up a little bit. Or they're just going to be like, all right, we got the number 1 pick. We're going to keep everything right now. We're going to start rebuilding during the offseason. So it depends on what the Giants want to do with what they have right now. Let's see. Okay, this is fun. Last week, I did my playoff predictions. This week, I'm going to do my top 10 power rankings. So this is where I think teams line up best top 10.
Okay.
All right, so number 10, I got the Houston Texans. Sure, they lost to the Lions, so have 7 other teams in the league. But not many teams could do what they did against the Lions. And they're getting their key pieces back and waiting on a few more, like Nico Collins, Will Anderson, Kamari Lassiter, who left the game with a concussion. I'm sure, I saw the reports. It wasn't that serious. I think he might be back after he's out of the protocol. Mario Edwards just got reinstated by the NFL after his suspension. So Houston Texans, they're in the top 10. Barely, but they're trending up. Number 9, I got the LA Chargers. The Chargers are 3 games over 500. They've looked like a playoff team since the beginning of the season. First-year head coach Jim Harbaugh for the LA Chargers, doing a good job. Justin Herbert is over 66% completion and has only thrown 1 interception and 11 touchdowns. So that's what you want from your quarterback. You want to take over number 8?
Sure. So we have the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders team is showing how close this team was away from being competitive the last couple of years, and now they have plugged in a few key pieces and a quarterback for the future. They are here to compete this year.
Yeah, very excited watching the Commanders this year. No one saw them coming. No one saw them doing what they're doing right now with a rookie quarterback. They got rid of Jahan Dotson right before the season. They was like, well, you have a rookie quarterback. Why would you get rid of one of your youngest key receivers? It's looking like they're okay. They're okay over there in Washington. Go ahead.
All right, so Pittsburgh Steelers is number 7. This team is on a roll right now, and with Russell Wilson playing like his former Seattle self and the defense making stops, creating turnovers, this team is a sleeper, but maybe for not much longer.
No, Mike Tomlin, he's one of the best coaches in the league and probably all time. I would put him up there in the top 15 all-time coaches. It's a long list of coaches, but top 15 is pretty good to be in, especially Mike Tomlin. The Steelers, he's never had a season where he's below 500. So yeah, shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 6, I got the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Vikings have figured out that they can't go onto the field running the same stunts, schemes week after week. After a while, teams figure out a way to beat you. And since the Lions game, they have worked towards doing just that. They're showing their regular scheme, but then they change it up on the field right then and there. They're not going in with the scheme and then going with it. They're working towards more disguising what they're doing on the defense. And Sam Darnold is doing all that he can do to keep this team atop the NFC North and stay in striking distance of the Lions, but it's not going to be enough. Number 5, Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts has got his weapons back, and they're starting to get back to their normal, high-powered selves. They're the winners of 5 straight, and a key matchup coming up this week when they play the Commanders.
Okay.
Big matchup in the NFC East. Go ahead, take on number 4.
All right, so number 4, we got the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is having the best year in his career in all aspects of his game. Running, passing, and overall leader of the team. And the defense, if the defense can hold it together in the colder part of the season, this might be the Bills' best shot at a Super Bowl run.
I honestly agree with that. I mean, I wrote it. I mean, of course, I'm going to agree with it, but
I would hope you agree with what you know.
I really think this. I know a couple years ago when it was like the Bengals and the Bills and the Ravens, I was like, oh, Josh Allen comes up short again. Like, he's going to miss out on a Super Bowl window. I think his Super Bowl window is just starting. Like, for the long period. Like, I think he's got 5 to 6 years of a Super Bowl window, and I hope he gets there. Now, I hope he doesn't win it, just because the Detroit Lions need to win the Super Bowl this year. You know what? After the Lions get one, I might be just good and be like, all right, you know, Josh Allen, you can go ahead and have yours, but then we'll come right back.
Don't give it up that easily.
Oh, you have no idea. Number 3, Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I know. How can I put an undefeated team at number 3? They win. Yeah, sure. But it's how they perform as a unit that I'm evaluating as well as record. And if you can sit there and tell me that the Kansas City Chiefs outperform the other top two teams, I would love to hear that argument. Love to hear that argument. Let me know in the comments. Argue with me right now. I'll get down there. I'll talk to you. Why would you put the Ravens and the Lions above the Chiefs? And I know I just spoiled my number 2, but I'm going to go with number 2. And it's a little bit of a shock. I'm taking the Detroit Lions at number 2. If this was last week, I would have put them at number 1. But after that performance with the Houston Texans, I have to move them to second. Goff with 5 interceptions. Gibbs and Demo combined for just over 100 yards rushing. Only had 2 wide receivers that had catches. The other 2 were tight end Sam Laporta and Gibbs and Demo. So not a good spread of the offense. Great showing of the defense. That was the defensive win. I don't care. Like, I know you need points to win. That was a defensive win. Go ahead. Number 1.
All right, number 1, Baltimore Ravens. So the 2-headed monster that the Ravens have with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry is lethal and can take control of any game. Have they lost more games than the Chiefs and the Lions? Yeah, sure. But once again, and Tim just said, right, going based on performance as well as records. So how the team is performing specifically, not just who they beat.
Right. Like, if I would take it, like, if I put the Ravens and the Chiefs on the field and they play a game, I'm taking the Ravens. That's how I'm basing it. If I take the Lions and the Chiefs, the Lions are going to win. Lions and Ravens, that one's a toss-up. I have to give the edge right now to the Ravens. So that's how I'm basing this list. All right. If you haven't seen the college football episode yet, go ahead. It's the video below this one, but this is Caitlin's favorite part of the show. We're going to get into it right now, starting with the Eagles at the Commanders. We just talked about this game. This is going to be a huge game. Eagles need to make up ground on the Commanders in the NFC East. Who you got?
Going Eagles.
Going Eagles.
I'm going
E-A-G-L-E-S.
Thank you for spelling Eagles. I am so glad you know.
Caw-caw.
Fun fact, I actually did get to meet a real live eagle fall? Yeah, it was flipping amazing. Our local high school had an opening. They're actually the Eagles, and they brought in the live mascot. You got to do like pictures with it. They are flipping huge. Never realized how huge they are until a couple months ago.
I thought you said you got to meet like a real Eagles player.
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you said. I was like, where the hell was I?
The bird.
Okay.
I
got to see a
the
real
bird,
eagle.
and like it was perched and it was huge. And then it flew from the, I don't know, person's cage to their hand during the national anthem. It was just an amazing experience. And now I'm going to get off my ho horse that...
you got a ho horse?
Hi, ho horse.
A ho horse.
I'm going to get off my box.
All right.
I went down a rabbit hole.
Whoa. You got to get gotta get off your what?
The box.
Okay.
What
You
did I
said
say?
your box.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Commanders with this game. Moving on. Jaguars versus the Lions. Oh,
Lions.
that could have been a Jaguar.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions. The offense gets back their confidence, gets back their mojo against the Jaguars. Yeah, Lions. Colts versus the Jets. The Jets are very disappointing. They had that win. You thought, all right, Devontae Adams back with Aaron Rodgers. They finally got synced back up. And then this past week, nothing. Nothing came out of that duo.
That's disappointing.
But then you have the Colts, who have old-time Sleepy Joe, Joe Flacco at quarterback. And then you got Anthony Richardson, who needs to tap out because he's tired.
Someone tapped out because they were tired?
Yeah, so like 2 weeks ago, Anthony Richardson, who's only in his second year in the league, ran a play. He ran a bit, but it was 3rd and goal. And he got up after being tackled, went like this, and just walked off the field. Joe Flacco comes in, takes over, and he hasn't played another snap since.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Jets here just because it's at home. And I think Aaron Rodgers hates losing at home because then he's got to... Well, he hates losing in general, but he doesn't lose at home.
I'm going to go with the Jets as well.
Okay, there we go. Ravens and Steelers. It's good. Ooh, good game. Good game here. It's at Pittsburgh. Steelers' run defense is a little concerning, especially when the Ravens have Lamar Jackson, who's a very good running quarterback. And then you have Derrick Henry, who's one of the best running backs in the league, or the best right now. A little debate, Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. I'm going to go Ravens.
I'm going to go opposite of you. I'm going to go Steelers.
All right, going Pittsburgh.
I'm going Pittsburgh.
I get it. All right. Next, we got Vikings and Titans. Titans not having a good year. Vikings having a really good year. Well, what do you think? You go ahead.
I'm going Vikings.
Ah, crap. I thought you were going Titans. Yeah, I'm going Vikings as well. Browns versus Saints. What two disappointing teams in the NFL this year. Saints surprised us this week, though, with the win. Didn't see that coming, beating the Falcons. I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints. Derek Carr is the difference maker.
I was also going to go with the Saints.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
What are we doing? Packers versus Bears. I want the Bears to win. Packers are going to, though.
I'm going with the Cheeseheads. Let's go Packers.
Go Pack, go. Raiders versus the Dolphins. Is Tua going to get it together? Is he going to get the ball to the cheetah? Is he going to get it to Jalen Waddle? Is Devin Akane going to run wild? Possibly it's the Raiders. I'm going to go ahead and take the Dolphins.
I'm going to go Raiders.
Oh, okay. Good job. Rams versus the Patriots. Patriots. Whoa.
Wow.
Patriots. I like Drew May. Oh my gosh. Drake May. I like what he's doing so far after taking over quarterback for the Patriots, but Matthew Stafford, too much. Taking the Rams.
I'm going Patriots.
I know you don't watch NFL.
I don't.
Good. Just judging by your picks. Falcons versus the Broncos. Broncos came close to beating the Chiefs with just that blocked field goal. Bo Nix, he's getting better as the week goes on, but got to take Kirk Cousins and the Falcons in this one.
I'm going Falcons.
Okay, no reason why.
It's funner to say than Broncos.
Seahawks and 49ers. Christian McCaffrey, hopefully getting the green flag. No snap limits. Taking the 49ers.
I am going to go Seahawks.
Seahawks. Well, hopefully DK Metcalf's back. I know he's still listed as questionable right now, but hopefully he gets back on the field. Chiefs versus Bills. Here we go. AFC showdown. You got Josh Allen, like you said, having one of the best careers or best years of his career. And then you got the Chiefs, who can't find a way to lose a game. They always find a way to win it. Even if it's not even Patrick Mahomes on the field.
I'm going Chiefs.
I'm going to go Bills because I want this team to lose. Go back.
Nothing down a peg.
Heck yeah. Bengals versus the Chargers. Bengals need a win desperately. Joe Burrow threw for over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns versus the Ravens and came up short. I see that trend going in the same direction, and they come out with a better outcome. Bengals win.
I want to go with the Bengals because it sounds like they're the underdog
Yeah.
in that game.
They
So
are.
I'm going to go Bengals. Root them on.
All right, last pick of the series. We got Texans versus the Cowboys.
I'm going Texans.
Yeah.
I just really do not like the Cowboys. Never have, never will.
Yep. Same. Never have, never will. I'm taking the Texans, especially what they did to the Lions. I mean, how can you pick against a team that did that to one of the best teams in the NFL? So,
Truth.
yeah, taking the Texans. Bye weeks were the Arizona Cardinals, Carolina Panthers, New York Giants, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's going to do it for this show. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the description. That's going to find our Facebook page and our sponsor, Drake Publishing. His link will also be down there. Hopefully it gets some sweaters, some hoodies, something. It's cold up in here. You got anything to add before we wrap it up?
No.
All right. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out a college football episode. That one will be below this one. And if you are watching the college one, you're not understanding what I'm saying right now because you're watching the NFL. That didn't make any sense. So I'm going to wrap this up. We'll see you then. Or see you next time. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm
He's
cold.
trying to say that's a wrap.
I'm cold.
You little baby.
I know. I didn't want to make it sound like I was whining, but it came out that way. All right. We'll see you next time.